Imagine a life where you're not tethered to a fixed salary, where money works for you rather than the other way around. This is the goal for many, but few truly achieve it. However, the key to this financial freedom is within your grasp. Learning to print money legally, as the wealthy do, is more than just a possibility. It's a reality that can be attained with the right mindset and adequate knowledge. Renowned author and finance expert Robert Kiyosaki reminds us that financial education is crucial for success. But beyond that, it's the ability to apply that knowledge practically that truly makes a difference. It's not just about learning theory, but understanding how to effectively use money to generate wealth. One of the key lessons we can extract is the importance of taking calculated risks. The fear of losing money often holds people back from reaching their full potential. However, true entrepreneurs understand that risk is part of the game and are willing to face it in pursuit of greater rewards. Furthermore, it's essential to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. While bad debts can lead to a cycle of indebtedness and financial difficulties, good debts can be used to acquire assets that generate income and increase your net worth over time. Another crucial aspect is mindset. Those with a scarcity mindset tend to live below their means and are always worried about money. On the other hand, those with an abundance mindset know that opportunities are everywhere and are willing to seize them to the fullest. So don't settle for a life of financial mediocrity. Seek knowledge, take calculated risks, and develop an abundance mindset. With determination and perseverance, you can achieve financial freedom and live the life of your dreams. So don't waste time. Start your journey today. Learn from the best, like Robert Kiyosaki, and put that knowledge into practice. Remember, financial success doesn't happen overnight, but with time and effort, you can achieve your goals. Over the past 2 decades, the average American worker's salary has either fallen or remained stagnant. Meanwhile, inflation has continued to grow. In simple terms, this means you're earning less money and buying less than you used to in today's economy. It's madness to think you'll progress and land a good job. And by saving money, your money loses more value every day. In the new world of money, it's undeniable that you must learn to print your own money legally, achieving an infinite return. One of the best advantages of financial education is the ability to print your own money. 2 new videos are published every day, so to not miss valuable knowledge for your success, I strongly advise you to subscribe to this humble channel. Seize the opportunity to like this video and leave a comment, thus helping to spread this content. Now let's continue with the main theme. The way you can do this legally is through a financial term known as return on investment. When you talk to most financial experts, they will say that 5 to 12% is a good ROI. And it is, if you don't have financial education. Another thing they'll say is that the higher the return, the higher the risk. This is also true if you don't have financial intelligence. But with high financial intelligence, you'll realize that an infinite return on your investments is not entirely out of reach. The definition Robert Kiyosaki uses for an infinite return is money for nothing, but specifically, an infinite return is when you recoup all your investment money in an asset that generates cash flow. You still own that asset and still enjoy the cash flow month after month. Printing your own money starts by being on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant is divided into 4 types of people, 2 in each category. In short, there are 2 sides to the quadrant. On the left are employees and self-employed individuals. On the right are business owners and investors. If you want to print your own money, you can't do it on the left side of the quadrant. You can only build a money printing machine if you eat, sleep, and breathe on the right side of the quadrant. The reason for this is simple. Employees don't own the machines. They work for the machine. Self-employed individuals also don't own the machines. They have a job that often hires a money printing machine because they sell their hours, which are a finite resource. They can't achieve the infinite returns that come with a money printing machine. Build a money printing machine on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. The ultra-rich operate only on the right side of the cash flow quadrant, and they are the ones who have figured out how to legally print their own money. Take advantage, because we don't know how long this lesson will remain available for free. The reason for this is also simple. They are the owners of the machines. Business owners build businesses specifically with the aim of legally printing money. They easily obtain infinite returns after recouping the initial investment used to start the business. It's the same with investors. Once they get their initial money back and still own the investment, they are in the money printing business and are getting infinite returns. You can only print your own money legally if you own the machine. This means operating on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. Let's examine some examples of how to print your own money in business. Robert Kiyosaki and Ricky Dare started Ricky Dare Company at the kitchen table. Instead of using their own money, they raised £250,000 from investors. In less than 3 years, thanks to the business growth, they repaid their investors 100%, but also an additional 100% to buy back their shares. Today, their businesses put millions in their pockets, although they don't have their own money invested in them. That's an infinite return. In other words, their businesses print money for them. How to print your own money with other people's money. This brings up a key point: using other people's money to quickly obtain infinite returns. Before we dive into OPM, we must first address a fundamental principle from Rich Dad: the difference between good debt and bad debt. If you grew up learning the old rules of money, you probably heard that debts are bad. But that simply isn't true. The new rules of money demand debt, as long as it's good debt. Bad debts are used for liabilities, things like cars and holidays, things you don't need and that lose value over time. They take money out of your pocket every month. So it's a double blow: losing money with your liabilities and losing money with bad debts and interest. Good debt is used to buy assets that put money in your pocket every month. Good debt includes things like loans for investment properties, working capital, etc. PM or OPM, other people's money, is a form of good debt. You need high financial intelligence to use it properly, but when you do, you can print money much faster. Here's an example of a post that Robert wrote specifically about the PM scenario. Scenario: purchase price £100,000. Loan of £80,000 with 5% interest, £20,000, or PM with 7% interest. You receive 50% of the net operating income as a business finder. In this case, the annual costs of the loan would still be £8,500, but you would also have an additional cost of about £1,500 for the money of other people that you borrowed for capital, based on 7% presumed. Therefore, the total costs of the loan and the PM would be £10,000. Again, assuming you have an income of £11,000 with the property after paying expenses, your total net income would be £1,000. Your return on investment for this would be infinite because you are earning £500 without any money from the business. As you can see, OPM is a powerful money printing machine when used correctly. To print money through the real estate market, Robert works with his real estate partner all the time. They acquire a poorly performing apartment community using investors' money, OPM. Then, they make improvements, raise rents, and increase the property value. Subsequently, they can refinance this property tax-free and pay their investors with the loan proceeds while still enjoying positive cash flow. After all the investors are paid, they still continue to enjoy cash flow, which is also an infinite return. These are just a few examples of how you can, with the right financial education, print your own money. This makes more sense than working harder to pay more taxes, saving money in the bank and losing purchasing power, or risking your money long-term in the stock market. Yes, it increases your financial IQ today and starts printing your own money legally. Today, you need a financial metamorphosis. You need to stop being an immature person when it comes to money and become a mature person. The transition from employee to entrepreneur is more than just changing jobs. It is a true metamorphosis. Financial metamorphosis is a new term in Rick Dare Company, where we talk a lot about education and financial education. The magnitude of the economic collapse due to the pandemic has convinced me that education is not enough to thrive and survive the crisis. Now I'm talking about something more than education. I'm talking about transformation. The definition of metamorphosis is a transformation from an immature form to a mature adult form. Today, you need a financial metamorphosis. You need to stop being an immature person when it comes to money and become a mature person. You need to stop listening to old money advice. Just as we study to learn a job, I suggest you study to diversify and operate in more than one quadrant. The average wealthy person earns 70% of their income by acting on the right side of the quadrant, and less than 30% on the left side of the quadrant. I have found that no matter how much money people make, they will feel more secure if they operate in more than one quadrant. We all have within us a poor person. A person with a poor mindset believes in scarcity, lives below their means, and is generally guided by fear. These people are hard workers, often with more than one job to make ends meet, but they struggle to progress because they feel like they're walking on eggshells. They often think that more money will solve all their problems, but money rarely resolves the issue and, on the contrary, intensifies their spending habits. Those with a middle-class mindset also live depending on the salary that falls into the account every month, but for different reasons and by different means. They have well-paying jobs that provide them with nice treats and a big house, fancy car and other modern comforts. And what they don't buy with money, they buy with pleasure using their credit card. That's what my rich dad called the working-class dream. Over time, the middle class creates a lifestyle that must be maintained, either through a job that pays a higher salary or through more hours of work to earn more at the end of the month. Someone with a wealthy mindset, on the other hand, is creative and risk-averse. They do not rely on security like someone with a poor mindset and do not work to have a salary. They do not fear losing money like people with the other two types of mindsets. My rich dad insisted that I work for free. He didn't want me to develop a poor mindset, someone who would sell their time in exchange for a salary. Since my rich dad had explained to me how the quadrants work, I was in a better position to see the small differences turning into big differences when analyzed over the years a person spends working. Because of the quadrant, I knew it was better for me to decide not only what I wanted to do, but who I wanted to become as my active years went by. In tough times, it was this deep knowledge and the lessons I learned from my rich dad and my poor dad that allowed me to move forward. A group of people on one side with one mindset and another group of people on the other side with a different mindset. They're playing this big money game, but each one, depending on the quadrant they're in, is playing from a different viewpoint and with a different set of rules. The big problem is that people on the left side can't see what people on the right side are doing, but people on the right side know exactly what people on the left side are doing. The trajectory to move from one quadrant to another is an internal journey. A journey from one set of beliefs and technical skills to a new set of beliefs and skills. The process is very much like learning to ride a bike. In the beginning, you fall a lot. It's often frustrating and embarrassing, especially if your friends are watching. But after a while, you stop falling, and riding a bike becomes automatic. If you fall again, it's no big deal because now you know you can get up and keep going. The process is the same when shifting from an emotional mindset of job security to an emotional mindset of financial freedom. In my last job, I took the position at Xerox not for the salary, but to expand my financial intelligence, specifically the intelligence to make money. I decided that in my case, the best way to make money was as an entrepreneur and not as an airline pilot or ship's officer. I knew that to become an entrepreneur, I needed to have sales skills. The 4 years I spent working at Xerox, from 1974 to 1978, were very challenging. In the first 2 years, many times I almost gave up because I couldn't sell. Besides not selling anything and risking losing my job, I wasn't making any money either. But I had the goal of becoming the top salesman at the Honolulu branch. I faced my challenges with determination. After the first 2 years, sales training and street experience began to pay off, and I finally achieved my goal and became the #1 salesman at the Honolulu branch. I learned a valuable lesson from my experience at Xerox. Solving problems was the path to wealth. When I reached my goal and became #1 in sales, orders, and issuances, I embraced my next challenge, creating a company, becoming an entrepreneur. One of the scariest days of my life was the day I left my job and officially became an entrepreneur. On that day, I knew I no longer had a salary, health plan, or pension plan. I no longer had sick days or paid holiday. On that day, my income dropped to zero. The terror of not having a fixed salary was one of the scariest experiences I had ever had. Worst of all, I didn't know how long it would take to secure another stable salary. It could take years. The moment I quit my job, I realized the true reason why many employees don't become entrepreneurs. It's the fear of not having money, guaranteed income, a fixed salary. Very few people can continue moving forward for long periods without money. Entrepreneurs are different, and one of those differences is the ability to remain productive in a healthy and intelligent way, even without financial resources. One piece of advice kept me going, the advice my wealthy father gave me when I was on the brink of giving up. You can always quit, so why quit now? Hearing that lifted my spirits and helped me to stay calm. It reminded me that I was halfway there, so why go back? The distance to return to the starting point is the same as moving forward. I hope you enjoyed this valuable content on how to achieve financial freedom and prosperity like the rich do. If you want more tips and insights on how to improve your financial situation, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Leave your comment below, sharing your experiences and ideas. We look forward to hearing your opinions and continuing this journey together towards financial success. Until the next video.